apologies, but tonight is Overwatch, and we're already in game, and we fixed the stream settings, so let's get on over and get in here. I am joined by the Griff, who will be my caster duo for tonight.
Always happy to be a part of the production. Tonight we're starting off on Nepal, specifically the beloved elephant map.
Absolutely. It's
and
always
as of right now, George Mason has started off holding the point. They're up to 85% or so here. Be the last push coming in from Virginia Wesleyan. Got two ults to work with.
Yeah, they're going to have that beat. They've just scouted a Binks. He's out of the fight for now. They're going to commit that coalescence, George Mason is, and they're going to get a lot of members. It looks like Virginia Wesleyan's actually give it up a little bit there. Once they saw they got a few members down.
Still.
Oh, no. Virginia Wesleyan not really feeling themselves right now, but George Mason definitely is. Well, at least we got to see that first round. Get that going. Okay. Well, you were watching a little bit of the game before while I was fixing stuff.
Yeah.
How was it going?
It was pretty good. Binks actually got a lot of initial ultimate charge on the Sombra, and that allowed them to snowball the early fight and carry on forward into the next couple of fights with ultimate advantages on their other heroes. It was pretty one-sided. There was just a really strong hold for George Mason that didn't really ever seem to get broken.
Yeah, it looks like
it switched up the comp a little bit though here.
Yeah, GMU I think is looking like they have the better comp going into here. Virginia Wesleyan's going to really struggle to exit this choke. The May wall threatening them. And there it is. The Reinhardt gets down. They have the immortality field, which isn't quite touching the Reinhardt, but they're able to break the wall and have him drop down. Now, Virginia Wesleyan still at a small disadvantage here without having the immortality up. GMU is looking to get a lot of damage in here, but not exit this high ground through the choke. Doomfist punches in, connects on Reinhardt, but now Wright is capping the point. They're going to window here at the choke, but again, they can't really escape through the choke. It's a very difficult thing to do without Lucio or a May wall of your own to just help yourself get the space. It's a massive
big shatter there from Matthew. Yeah, gets at least 4 down there, and George Mason's going to clean house off of that. A couple stragglers left here. The DPS duo from Virginia Wesleyan, but in due time they're even going to pass. So pretty good job there for George Mason. Interesting, they were even able to hold that with their D.Va departing for the point. It's like you said, with the support duo they're running, it's really difficult for them to get through this choke here. Got to give it another go though, not looking to give up and head straight to the main choke yet. See if they can get any picks this time. Will allow them to get through here.
Yeah, it'll be quite difficult. They have to play into a male. It looks like a Binks is kind of posturing to throw that in there. There's no threat of it getting eaten from a D.Va or a Sigma. Just not available on the side of Virginia Wesleyan. However, Binks does have to watch out with the damage he's taking. He can't go down here. The Junkrat is trying to kind of take him out with some kind of rebound shots. He is going to throw out that May ult, and the High Noon is comboed with it. And that's just going to seal their fate.
Just a really great job from Binks there. Like you said, before the fight happens, he has that May ultimate there, but even still, the Doomfist really threatens him, but a perfect ice block into the May ult just to turn that fight before it could have ever gone Virginia Wesleyan's way. Speaking of their way, they're going to look to switch things up, finally heading towards the main choke rather than the one on that high ground. Going to give this a test, but the early window comes out from George Mason. Going to keep them at this choke longer.
Yeah, it's going to be
Wesleyan
quite
Kid
difficult.
makes his way to the point.
They still don't have that speed from Lucio. The tire doesn't connect as well. GMU has massive numbers here on point. I think it was only 3 fights, really, that Virginia Wesleyan had on that section of the map.
Yeah, they picked up their Junkrat, which is really good for holding that high ground, but it's not about holding the high ground if you never had it initially, so unfortunate for them. They only get a couple of chances there. And here's that early EMP on the first map there from a Binks.
Very nice.
Actually, that might even be the second one, looking now at the percentage on the top.
Jeez.
My memory escaped me from when we weren't actually live, but overall, really great job.
Yeah. I am enjoying George Mason's performance. We now have to wait for... Oh! Hey, my intermission screen's slightly working.
Very good.
Slightly. I don't know why it's down there in the corner. But there it is. If we just order this correctly, then... There we go. We got it working. I tried to load that earlier, and it was like, nah, not having it. However, combined with my assets, I think I'm covering something in the top left, so I'm quite sorry, guys. I tried to get these assets working a while ago, and it did not work out. But it looks like the next map we are going into is King's Row.
Another classic. Love me some King's Row gameplay.
I would be worried to see if VWU does not pull out the Lucio here. They tried to play without it on King of the Hill with a somewhat brawl-esque comp. It did have a lot of spam elements there with the Junkrat, but here I think they either need to fully commit to that idea of spam, maybe pull out some double shield, or bring out that Lucio. You're gonna need it on in a closed map like this, where you need a close distance corner to corner.
Yeah, it's very true. Lucio in this map specifically has a lot of value, but doesn't look like they're going to take it. Obviously, it's still 30 seconds on the clock to change their team comp around however they like, but as of right now, not considering it, taking the Ana and Mercy instead.
GMU is starting out on the defense, which is great if you're trying to save a lot of time. If you can full hold, get you evening back to yourselves. GMU potentially looking to do that with the defense pick.
5, 4,
Now it's gonna be, they are gonna keep this comp.
Yeah.
So they have the ball and the Zarya with it to kind of like open up the space. They're waiting a little bit before they peek. They have the Hanzo on the high ground. GMU doesn't have enough range to fully contest that, but however, they do have corners. It looks like the ball is getting contested right now by Niner. GMU still has that Mei pick, so it's very threatening. In fact, they can go through the choke with it, and now just the back line and the front line for that matter. I think Azario was in there, just go down very quickly. That's the power of the brawl composition, especially with the Lucio's speed. Hanzo's still on the high ground.
West Virginia, with their team composition, not having a Lucio, they're sort of forced into these stalled situations, and if they never get a pick and George Mason pulls the trigger like that, it doesn't seem like it's ever going to go their way. They might need to start pairing that Mercy up with the Hanzo or the Reaper just to get some damage boost and try and get a pick here, because the pick's really what they need to go.
Yeah, and unfortunately that Hammond was swinging around for a while on the clock tower, eventually does drop down. The wall's there to stop his escape. So now GMU doing what Brawl does and running down the rest of the members of VWU. Secure some more kills. They may even be staggering this D.Va. Actually, no, they did kill the D.Va. A little bit of respect there.
Yeah, but might just be making a bad situation worse. No changes to the team comp, so they're going to get some ult charge here, but George Mason has plenty of ult charge to answer. It thinks
there's nothing to block the shatter
coming up soon, and nothing to block the shatter either.
As soon as they come through the choke, you can just throw it out. So just really on VWU
They're even
to
gonna get
actually
the pick beforehand.
Yeah, they need to fully commit to doing one thing. It looks like they're trying to make plays individually. Again, that hog jumping down from the high ground, try to get a pick, but of course is answered by a plethora of cooldowns available from George Mason to stop him from doing that. Could be anything, a D.Va DM, a shield block the hook, an Immort if those two things fail. So they really need to make the most out of these ultimates if they want any chance of taking this first point, which they could do.
Yes, the problem is with WVU, they have a lot of damage in their ultimates. They're going to pop them here, but the problem is it doesn't hit anyone. They have no CC to lock up George Mason, and all that damage doesn't work if they're able to escape it. George Mason going to answer with the ultimate of their own, and that's going to turn out well for them. Getting two on the back. The res comes up.
I'm gonna throw that
Ball
dragon.
comes back to life, gets a kill. But things are gonna stall out here. Niner's gonna answer with some nice shots from the Ashe on the high ground. And gonna fall back. It's just gonna reset things, and WVU burn all of their ultimates and don't even get any time on the point for it.
Unfortunate. Bright tries to throw out a bomb here and
Oh my
somehow picks up 2, despite being thrown in a quite linear fashion. Again, they don't have any shields to stop this from happening. They're gonna res the Ana in a very scary spot, so she's gonna go down, no doubt. They have 35 seconds to work with here and no ultimates. GMU is stacked up with 5 of them. Again, this Shatter hasn't even had to be committed unless he built up a new one. And they have nothing to stop that, so they have to go quick. Just tank this Shatter, burn through GMU's ults, hopefully get some picks. I don't really see an outcome where this really happens against a team as strong as George Mason, but they got to make something work. They're not even taking the initiative here, so GMU is going to push through the choke. Binks is going to throw the blizzard at the choke. There's the Shatter. Did it connect? I missed it.
It did. It got a couple there.
Got a couple.
The back line going to go down from it.
GMU is going to throw 5 ults through the choke as VWU appears to be playing defense on the offense side, and no.
Yeah, they're just not getting through to the objective that they need to. They have at least a good game plan there with the Mercy and the Hanzo to take agency over the high ground, but if no picks come from it, they're not able to take anyone on George Mason out. They're never able to push up and aggress, and when you're playing offense, that's very important. It just doesn't work out.
Absolutely. I wonder what they're going to pull out on the defense now. I think defense will be easier for them. Oh, that's kind of actually what I was hoping. Like, no cap.
Yeah, little bunker.
They got the double shield. GMU actually has to respect the Bastion no matter what team you're up against. That does a lot of damage, so you need to answer it properly. So if you're getting a little comfortable, you could be caught off guard here.
And interesting, the double shield actually with the team comp that George Mason has right now might be a bit more difficult to crack. Usually if people have those shields, you want someone like a Cassidy or like a Hanzo to sort of spam into it, even a Soldier, just to break the shields early. But with a Mei and a Widowmaker, it's not going to be as easy.
Correct. I think GMU is going to go for a game plan that involves not even touching the shields.
Yes. Looks like they're going to play sneaky here.
Looks like the wall's going to come out. They're not quite sure which way they want to go in. You can see they're dancing back and forth between going through to the point and going to that right side. They do end up deciding to hop on the point and force them to drop down, but VWU doesn't have a game plan for this happening. They weren't quite prepared. The Bat jumps down first and Immorts himself, and it's really the Orisa you need to drop first alone by herself just to fortify her, pour resources and healing into her, and hopefully the Bastion will get enough damage in while that's happening. But it came down in this kind of awkward fashion that they couldn't really run out the stall and optimize the Bastion DPS.
Yeah, showing the difficulties from their offense there, that without enough time to work for, not having touched the objective on their offense, once the George Mason sort of gets onto the point, there's not enough time for them to even respond to it. Usually when I see that sort of shield strategy there, the Bastion will be in the back corner with the Orisa, so that in the event of the team, George Mason in this case, forcing the point, they can sort of contest at least for a little bit. But everyone on VWU, excuse me, up on that high ground just leaves the point completely open for George Mason to take. And after a little bit of hesitation, that's exactly what they do.
Yeah, I do actually agree with their high ground positioning. You wouldn't want your Bastion down on the low ground where he could be dealt with a lot easier. The Bastion definitely stays up there. And usually what happens is I don't think you run yeah, I mean that's an old composition. I don't think well, Bastion's actually never really ran, so I don't know how much into the macro fundamentals I can get into, but generally what usually happens if you run like an Orisa or Diva, then you get a really clean motion of you bait the point with like a diva or an Orisa. So I guess it doesn't really matter what tanks you run. And then you're able to pour resources into that. If it's an Orisa, you can fortify. Everyone else is safe on a high ground defended by a Sigma. Or you could be baiting the point with a diva instead, have the diva fly out, then the Orisa jump down with fortify, and kind of get this staggered motion where Orisa does ultimately die like she's supposed to, but at least you run the timeout, maximizing the contest on the point for the damage from Bastion. Of course, you have another DPS in there as well who should be playing an off angle. If you were expecting
that's sort of what I was thinking about with the Torbjorn. Is usually on like a Hollywood first point, you'll throw the Torb turret up on another sort of area just to sort of split the offense's attention. But George Mason had the Widowmaker, and if you don't throw that Torb turret behind a shield, it's just going to die from long range as well. Yeah, definitely showing a bit of my dated knowledge there with the Bastion on the low ground, but
no problem.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's a learning experience for everyone.
Yeah, a lot of the difficulty that Virginia Wesleyan showed there just also comes from not being able to get much done on offense themselves. But enough of that. We're moving into Havana.
And now
starting out. Oh, similar composition here from Virginia Wesleyan running the Mercy as well, but not as big a problem when we're running on the cart here.
Yeah.
Be able to sort of duck behind.
Now I like this this hog pick with the Orisa. If they're able to play it well and get the pool and the hooks, then that could be a problem for GMU. However, they have
sneaking up right here.
Answers.
Having a little duel with the Brigitte Zapat in the back line, but ultimately going to back off. No main tank to support the Roadhog at the moment. Promptly rezzed though, and Virginia Wesleyan going to give it another try.
Binks has a great angle here. He's getting a lot of damage in, though he's not building up his blade probably as fast as he wants. It's really just Matthew that has most of that ult charge right now. Now that right side, or sorry, left side of the defense is really answered. They're trying to get the hog on the flank, but GMU of course has the Sigma and the Brig there to answer it. But so far, not too many members are falling down on either side, so that's good news for the ult economy for WVU. They want a good chance here, making something happen again. A Binks does get a pick there, but the hook lands on him, so he goes down. But GMU finally is just really on top of the resources, so they're able to find an opening to just walk forward a little bit and get the damage off and win that fight.
Yeah, George Mason has a nice setup here with a shield on each side, so Niner and a Binks can sort of swap back and forth with where they're playing, and Virginia Wesleyan just has to stand in the middle, or maybe not has to, but is choosing to stand in the middle on this cart, and their shield is almost getting broken every time. It's really difficult. They need to try and utilize the map a little bit. I like what they're doing here. This is kind of what I'd like to see. Yeah, better position, allow them to sort of take some damage off the shield and get some chances here, but Bob's going to come in with the Orisa Transcendence to answer. Going to keep the damage out, but George Mason just backs out. Stalls the fight. Binks gets hooked, but yeah, Ash on the cart going to go down. Binks gets hooked, but the Reflect is going to keep him alive, and some answers coming in from George Mason. Going to pop the Sigma ultimate and pick everybody up, put him back down, and going to wipe the fight once more.
Sigma, he lifts things up and then puts them down. He's
little gravitic flux.
It's like the gym man from whatever commercial that was. It's a throwback.
Yeah.
I lift things up and put them down. And it works out pretty well here. They're going to have the blade for the next fight as well. GMU's playing against 3 ultimates, so they do have to be careful here, especially against, I think, Bob, to be a little bit devastating for GMU if not played around properly. But again, no Transcendence available for DWU, and he gets 4. Oh, he's trying to get the 5th. Ah, stolen by Right, but they do get the ace. The team kill.
Yeah, and that's really cool. Even caught me by surprise. I was seeing the blade, but wondering how Binks was going to be able to take down some of these high health targets. But the bongos come out from Matthew, and it's just like a semi-nano blade that comes in, basically. cuts through everybody with quickness. Dragon gonna come out here, do a little zoning off the Tark, allow Virginia Wesleyan to take some space and push up a bit. Answered with the Bob though, he's gonna contest while George Mason looks to take a couple kills. They take out the Moira, and that's both DPS down from Virginia Wesleyan. It's gonna be difficult for them to get back into the fight without them, and it looks like it's just through the motions here for George Mason gonna be cleaning up all the stragglers before time expires.
Yep, that's not looking too great for WVU. They got the cart, I think, almost all the way up the ramp, but definitely it didn't start to turn or anything. So it's about halfway. We can actually even see right now. That's where it ended. This was the scrim code. I think we'd see exactly where they got it to. Looks like, no, I think that's still currently where it's at. I don't know if that's the max distance, saying that 33 meters. Anyway, it's about halfway.
Yeah.
So that was the best I think we've seen WVU play so far, but they have a very large hill to climb against playing against George Mason, which is a very tough opponent. So they're making great strides, but GMU has been getting the differential here, the dub factor. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, and I think we have been harping on it a lot, but I think the flex support position is really important here. Anform on this Baptiste has been helping out his DPS to take down the shields of Virginia Wesleyan. In a lot of these fights, they're getting picked off because of that. Without a shield to hide behind, standing in the open on the objectives,
they only had the Orisa shield.
Yeah, and with the Sigma and the Orisa shield on the side of George Mason, just buying a lot more time for their damage characters to do damage, and Virginia Wesleyan not being afforded the same sort of options. I like this though.
Motion.
They're taking the aggressive, point here.
Unfortunately, Moira does go down. They're getting Matthew quite low, but the swings can't really connect right here. He has to watch out and does not. He's going to go down. So now GMU able to get aggressive here. They are going to get a few members of GMU. So they're going to get a little bit of ult charge. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can stay on all those characters because you have to get to the point fast.
Yeah, you got to switch to anybody that can go fast right now.
And they still say, no Lucio. They even throw a GG's in chat. There's just no way they can touch that fast with that comp. So I forgot to change the score, but we were 2-0 going into that map. So now GMU gets another sweep, 3-0, which puts them at 15 sweeps so far this year. Just absolutely wonderful play from George Mason. I think they were favored to get the sweep today, but it's always great to see it. Not if you're WVU. Unfortunately, all that the last kill stolen from right.
Yeah, Banks putting the blade away right when he needs to take a swing to get that final one.
Why doesn't he just hold out the sword for longer?
Why doesn't he just hold it out? Genji, silly little fellow.
Yeah, he's
great showing today from George Mason. I liked at least that on Havana there we got to see at the end Virginia Wesleyan.
I think that was a great pick for them. That's definitely a map that they're gonna be a lot stronger with what they've been playing, and so I hope for their own games that they always pick that one. The long sight lines will be great for the Ashe that they were playing, even good for the Orisa and the Hog. They tried to play the lanes. They tried to get the Hog in the off angle, but GMU is just too seasoned to
too aware of it. The Zapad actually was always on the brig holding that flank.
Absolutely.
It was like the one sort of weakness that hold could have, and held strong and kept it locked down. But definitely some signs of light there at the end. Very good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that's going to put GMU's record at, I believe, 8-0 in CSL. So they are and have been the only undefeated team as of, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago when they played Shenandoah. And, of course, that was the only game that they didn't sweep in CSL. So GMU is looking to have an undefeated season. They have, I believe, 2 more. Actually, just this Thursday. I think this Thursday will be the last game. So we're going to get an extra game this week For you guys hungry for more Overwatch action, you're gonna get it. We'll try to stream Thursday. It'll be a match against ODU, which will be, in my opinion, they are the fourth best team in our group. You could argue third. Of course, Shenandoah being the second, the strong opponent that GMU did struggle against. But against ODU should be a good match. In fact, one of our former players at GMU, I think, is helping them out a little bit. Shout out to Early Bird. I think his brother is playing for ODU.
Oh, really?
Yes. So that's some interesting lore going on.
Yeah, nice when I hear names that I know as distant as I am at this point. That's cool.
That is awesome.
Well, you heard it here from Eric himself. Thursday is going to be a game to watch, so keep your calendars open.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Keep them clear. Do show up. It'll be at 7 p.m. again. Again, I don't have the rest of the schedule, but there will be some Rocket League this week. Of course, Friday's always Smash. And the playoffs are coming up close for GMU, so do pay close attention to what's going on in the Discord. There's going to be a little bit of change of schedules of when maps happen on the weekends, and so we'll definitely try to stream the playoff games. Normally we don't stream the ABC League or MAEC leagues. It's usually we've just been streaming CSL, but we'll try to get all that action to you, and we'll explain exactly how that's been going. The other leagues right now, GMU is undefeated in MAEC and is 5-3 in ABC. So this weekend they will be playing to attempt to get a playoff spot. This may be the first time in a while GMU might not get a playoff spot. It's kind of dependent on the tiebreaker score. I think they'll get that 7-3 record, which is the cutoff. But then we'll just have to hope that the teams we've beaten and that have beaten us have played very well. So do ask questions in the Discord if you're confused. I'll help you out. But we'll get the rest of the matches, especially the playoff ones, to you on the broadcast. So reminder again, this Thursday, do come back. It'll be the last regular season match in CSL/NAEC. I'm just going to say it, NACE. I don't know why I'm saying all these letters, man. Just pronounce the name.
Yeah, right. Everyone's got their abbreviations.
Jeez. All right. Well, thank you again for coming out. I've been Hamster Quest, still Ham, joined by Griff.
That's me.
That's him. We'll see you on Thursday. Well, are you going to be here? I'm going to be here.
If I'm allowed, I'd love to
You're
hang
allowed.
out. We'll talk.
Okay, we'll work it out. But there will be a stream.
Yes.
All right.
And viewers, you should watch.
Thank you. Bye-bye.